Okay, the video you're about to watch is how to run the Tattanaur autoclave. Okay, so I'm going to first describe some of the parts to the autoclave and then actually demonstrate how to run a cycle. Okay? So one of the first things that you want to check when you're working with the Tattanaur autoclave is the water level in the autoclave. It needs water to run the cycle. Okay, so up on the top here, you'll find a water reservoir. It has a little dipstick in it. So it has a minimum and maximum number of level for water on here. So you can try to determine by looking at that dipstick, or you can just actually physically look in there to make sure there's some water. There's also a safety feature here, right down here. It says add water. So that light should be illuminated if the water level is low. But do check it. And you want to fill it with distilled water that you would find in the cupboards directly below the Tattanaur. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these switches. This is the control panel right here, and it's going to tell you what kind of cycle you want to select, how to start and stop it, and it's also going to have program indicators here. The first thing you're going to do is turn the autoclave on. And you turn it on by this little green toggle switch down here. 0 indicates it's off. The little line indicates on. Don't know if you can hear that in the video, but you heard it kind of engage and click on. Also, this panel illuminated here, and it's telling us what the temperature is set at, the time is set at, the dry cycle is set at. Okay. Up on the top row, these are the types of cycles you can run. Okay, the one that's illuminated currently looks like a hanger with a dress on it, or a dress. That one means bagged instruments. The one directly to the left side of it, so the left side of the screen, that's unbagged, looks like a little scissors. The next one is chemicals, and the next one we don't even use these two. So the only two that you would be interested in are the first two. And almost 100% of the time you're going to be picking bagged instruments. We rarely, if ever, run anything on the unbagged. Okay. Down at the next level, we talked about this. That just tells you what is currently set to run for that cycle. Here's the stop the cycle and start the cycle. Down at the bottom, this is program indicators. It allows you to know what is happening in the cycle at that particular time. So the first one to the left is heat. The next one is sterilizing, STE. The next one is exhausting or venting, getting the heat and the moisture out. That's EXH. Then the dry cycle. Okay. And after the dry cycle, the cycle is complete. So when the dry cycle is done, it will say up here on the screen, cycle complete. Then you know you're allowed to open the door and take the instruments out that are now sterile. The next illuminated piece here says fail. So if that is lit, you need to make sure that the faculty are aware of that. It indicates that the instruments that were just running that cycle are not clean. Here's your add water one that I mentioned before. And when we get to running the cycle, it will tell us that we actually have the door closed. Okay. So we've checked our water level, we've turned the unit on, we've selected bagged instruments. Okay. Now I'm ready to put instruments inside the Tattanaur. I've already preloaded one of them just to make it a little more simple. I'm going to put my purple utility gloves on because I'm going to be handling a tray of dirty instruments. Okay, so I'm going to grab the tray, and it's fairly heavy, so make sure you get a good grip underneath it. And if you can see, there's 2 little lips inside the chamber there that I can place the tray on and just slide it to the back. Okay. When you put instruments in those trays, there should be space between them, so that the heat can cycle around each one of those cassettes that are in there. Nothing should be bagged on top of one another or very tight. There needs to be airflow around each one of the trays of instruments that'll be cleaned. Okay, so we've got everything closed. filled and ready to close the door. Bring the door latch over, so you pull it to the right, towards the right, and then you tighten it. So righty-tighty, so you're going to tighten this lever. Sometimes you got to kind of hold it in there so it doesn't slide backwards, but tighten this up till it feels nice and secure. Yep, slid a little bit. Okay, once I feel like I got it nice and tight, it's important that you take it like another quarter to a half turn because we've had problems with the door not being completely tight if we don't do this. So another quarter to a half turn. Okay, now we're ready. The door closed, light is illuminated, so that's another good indicator that we're ready to start the cycle. Okay, now all you have to do is push the start button, and the rest is all automated. Okay. When it indicates cycle complete on the screen up here, you're ready to open the door. So we're gonna say that it says cycle complete. We come back over here and we're gonna open the door, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So now we're gonna go to the left. It's possible that it could be some hot steam coming out when you open this. So stand in front of the door, not alongside of it, just in case that does happen. So just loosen the door. If for some reason you cannot turn this, just wait a couple more minutes and a little bit more of the pressure will get out of there, and then you'll be able to open it. Okay, move the door latch off to the side. Again, stand forward so in case steam comes out, that it doesn't come out and get you in the face because it's very hot, you know, or possibly can be very hot. So you want to give this just a second or two to kind of cool down, and then you're going to don the oven mitts and take both trays out. So I'm going to go take my utility gloves off. I'm going to use antiseptic wipe. And don oven mitts. These trays are very hot, so always use your oven mitts. The individual cassettes are very hot as well. There's some hot pad holders on the counter. Lay each tray there. From there, you'll take those instruments and put them in each individual student tubby.